and you just insert it into this tiny little hole. So if you guys are thinking about getting a radar detector and want to hardwire it to your Tesla Model X, this video is for you. Now we love our Tesla Model X. The one amazing thing about this bad boy is the curved glass windshield that offers tons of visibility. Now I'm no speedster, but the reason why we get radar detectors in the first place is number one, because the Teslas are so fast, sometimes I don't realize I'm going like 80 miles an hour on the freeway when I'm on the on-ramp. What if there's a highway patrol there and then they decide to clock my speed and pull me over? A lot of people also don't realize that radar detectors are legal. It is legal for you to know if you are getting shot with a radar detector gun or laser. However, again, make sure to check with your state local laws. I think there's like 2 or 3 states where it is technically illegal, but in California, it is definitely legal. Radar jammers, laser jammers, those are mostly illegal. Now, way back when in high school, a lot of the police officers used the radar guns for the majority of stuff. However, now a lot of the highway patrols and local police officers use laser because it's way more accurate, it's quicker, and it works. However, the con with laser is you have to be stationary, has to be well lit and completely visible. That's why today a lot of officers local to California use the KA radar detector gun. Now, I'm not a scientific expert that knows all this stuff, so take what I say with a grain of salt. However, I've had my radar detector for so many years now, and that's kind of like what I noticed and kind of what I assumed. Now, way back when, the major radar detector brands out there was Valentine One and Escort, and those still are great radar detectors. However, once their patent was up, a lot of other radar detectors came to the market. One of the really popular ones with amazing performance that beats Valentine One and Escort radar is Uniden. Now, if you haven't seen my Model Y radar detector installation video, make sure to check that out if you're interested in doing something like that. However, today I'm going to go ahead and show you how I remove the housing, see if we can find power inside of the camera housing or rear view camera. Because of Model 3 and Y, you can't directly get power from the mirror housing. So for me, I had to go all the way down to the 12-volt outlet. Now, I really don't want to do that because of the way the windshield is on the Model X. If I decide to do it that way, I'm gonna have to remove that huge plastic piece that holds all the wires. And I know it's stuck in there with double-sided tape and glue and all that stuff. Don't wanna deal with that. So we're gonna see if we can find a way to get power from the mirror or maybe from the camera. Another thing, Tesla being Tesla, they're always changing stuff around. Like for instance, for the Model 3 and Y, you used to be able to do direct power from the OBD port underneath the dash. However, apparently they changed that in the software update so it stays on 24/7, but they may change it again, I don't know. So the surefire way is of course that 12-volt cigarette outlet. That's going to turn off for sure when the car is off. Again, things like Sentry Mode keeps the car on all the time. So when you are home, you want to make sure you turn off Sentry Mode so the radar detector turns off as well. Then after a few minutes or so, when the car goes to sleep, the radar detector will go to sleep. However, I did notice something different with the Model X. When I did plug it into the cigarette outlet, the second I closed the door, it turned off the power, which is actually normal for a regular internal combustion engine car, where you turn off the engine, it powers everything off, turn the engine on, and it turns it on. I don't know what's gonna happen if I try plugging in power directly from the camera source or something like that, but we'll see. So for today's installation, I'm gonna be using the new Uniden R8. I'm not sponsored or anything. I have the R7 in the Model Y. I love it, it works amazing. The Uniden R8 is just a little bit more upgraded, a little more future-proof. However, it does offer very similar performance to the Uniden R7. One thing I like about Uniden is they have like GPS locations, they have the red light cameras, they have all that stuff. And also they have an auto off function. So after an hour or so, if there's no movement detected on the radar detector, it automatically turns off, therefore saving your battery. Now with the Model X, I was a little scared because I never messed with the housing before. I recently got my Model X windshield tinted, and in order to tint the windshield, they actually have to remove the housing and all that wires and stuff. So this is actually the second time I'm doing it. Again, with any car with Teslas, it's always held in by clips, but also you have to realize that especially if it's the first time you're gonna do it, it's gonna seem a little bit tougher to do. You're gonna feel like you're breaking it. I'm gonna show you everything and how I do it, so that way you don't make any mistakes. So when you are performing this, a couple of things you do need. Of course, you need your radar detector. You also need a way to tap into the power. So for me, I'm using mirror tap. This is a 10-inch, I believe. Yep, this is a 10-inch mirror tap. It might be too short. I might have to actually get a 15-inch. But I got it just to see if we're gonna be able to get power. And you need a trim tool because you're gonna have to remove the plastic pieces. We're gonna take a look right now at the housing, and I'm gonna show you how I do everything. So when you are performing this installation, you're gonna have to look at the Model X into a few pieces, okay? There's one piece here, okay? This attaches to this big plastic piece here. Third piece is gonna be the actual mirror that's gonna come off. Very simple to do. The fourth piece is this plastic piece here. This is probably the hardest piece ever because it's just so snug into the housing. So that's gonna take the most elbow grease and the most work. Once you get this piece off, this will come off very easily. Once that's off, this one is just held in by clips and it just kind of snaps down. Now with the Y, I was actually able to remove this housing a lot easier by pulling the mirror down, putting my fingers under and then pulling it straight out. However, this one, there's not enough space, which is very annoying. So the real only way is to kind of come up from underneath, and then you have to wedge your trim tool into here and find a way to open it. Okay, so again, not the easiest, but I have my trim tool here, and the goal is to just kind of, I really just jam it in there. So what you're gonna do is push the trim tool into here. Once you can get some leverage, it kind of snaps out. And see how there's clips right there? These are the clips that I'm talking about that have to come out. So now I did get most of it out, and then it just kind of comes in here. There we go. All right, you can kind of see that it's shaped like this. So this is how it's shaped. You're pretty much just pushing it in. So actually I went this way. With the trim tool, I was pushing the plastic in and pushing down so that these pieces can unlatch. Because as you can see, it's like that. So now that that's removed, we're gonna remove the mirror. Now with the mirror, it seems really weird and crazy, but you can kind of see it right here. This whole piece is a singular piece here. And then with these mirrors, it's like a hexagonal shape, so it's in there that way. So all I'm gonna do is grab it here, and I'm rotating it to the left. Sometimes when I did it in the Y, the whole mirror piece would come off. It just pops off. It's like a ball and socket thing. So that might happen as well. But when I am performing this, so I actually held it like this, and then it rotates like this, and I rotate it to the left. And then it's held in by this plastic piece here. You don't really need it if you don't need it, it's fine. Now, already we have a yellow and black wire. I don't know if you could see, we have a yellow and black wire on the rear view mirror. Now with the Model S and X refresh, you're not gonna have any good power source in here based on the forums. So they said, don't tap into the mirror power for this one. We're gonna go ahead and tap into the actual camera power, and everyone had great success with that. Now on the forums and a couple websites, people were actually saying that they had some problems with this piece here because it cracked the windshield. I don't know how strong they're pulling, but don't worry, it's totally fine. This part is very simple to do because as you remove this piece, it's gonna loosen this part up. So with this housing here, you can already see there's already a couple of wires that are exposed, like there's a green and black one. That might be actually the one that we're looking for. I don't know if it was because they removed the housing first to do the windshield tint, but if it is exposed, you don't even have to remove this plastic piece because you could just simply tap it right there if you wanted to. I'm just gonna take this out for you guys so you can see, and we're gonna try tapping into this power right here. The beauty with this housing that I noticed is that they did a really good job with the cable management. So there's tiny indents on where things should be. That way this can be super flush. Now this piece is as easy as just wedging your fingers under here and pulling straight down. It's very simple to do. I'm gonna go ahead and show that to you right now. You can use the tool. I like to just use my fingers, and you're just literally pulling down. Since I've done this before, it's a lot easier and looser, but you just literally just pull down gently, and already some of the clips are coming off. And then there you go. And then as you can see here, because I pulled it down, you can kind of see that this piece already kind of came down a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and try to loosen this piece up a little bit more. Yep. So here is what I was talking to you about. It's like a little circle hole and it goes right in the middle there. Okay, so now that that's off, you can see all the wires. You can see the cable management piece here. There's like little clips that hold these square pieces together. So make sure it goes back in there. So they did a good job. You can see that these are just clips. There's just push clips that go straight up. That's all there is. There is 1, 2 on that side, and then 2 on the other side as well. So based on the forums, it looks like the power we're tapping into is gonna be this green and black wire. Now I don't have a voltmeter with me, but apparently the green is positive and the black is ground. Also when you're doing this, make sure save the shoulder, save the posture, bring the seat forward and up so you have easy access, you're not straining anything. Now this is our mirror tap. I like the mirror tap, good quality. It also has interchangeable ones. The housing for the green one is very small. Like, look how small that is. So we're gonna see if these even fit because I need to find the thinnest possible. So you can kind of see there's like a ton of different ones. We're trying to look for the thinnest, skinniest one possible. This one's way too big. So you can kind of see these ones. These ones are super thin. And the beauty with these is you just connect it to the wire and you just insert it into this tiny little hole. Oh, scheiße. Red is dead, which means red is positive. And then for the power, they're saying green is positive. So green goes to red. It is a very tight fit. Let me remove this here so you can kind of see it closer. It looks like so. I don't know if you can see that. There is no space in there. Oh, well, I was able to get it in. So I got red into green and then black into black. So those are in. Now we're gonna plug this back in. Okay, so that's in. There should be power apparently. We'll see. I might be wrong though. So we're gonna plug this into the radar detector. See if it plugs up. Success! We got this plugged in, but the problem is we do not want this on. Oh, it just turned off. So it just turned off. That's a good thing, because my car is at home and it went to sleep. So the car is actually off right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the door, see if it turns back on. Ooh, it did, it turned on. We got it, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Looks like we're good. Everything works as intended. I'm gonna remove this piece. I'm gonna put everything back together. So very simple, just pull it out and it's done. The biggest thing you have to worry about, see this little notch here? This is where this goes. So it's gonna literally just go right up into here. And then when you put this in, you're gonna put this piece in first so it curves and goes into here. Then you can push all the clips back in together. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make sure all the wires are in place here. So for me, I like to kind of put my hand on that piece I was talking to you about because it doesn't seem to wanna be completely in line. So that's in there. There you go. That piece is still in, which is what I wanted. Perfect, still in there. I feel for the piece on this side. And then we're just gonna push it up. It helps to kind of go right under it so you can kind of see where the holes are. Yep, so once you get this piece in, it kind of helps align the upper pieces. Then that snaps in. And as you can see, this piece is not in all the way. There we go, now it's in. And then these ones just kind of snap in. It helps to go back to passenger and driver side to make sure, because this left side's perfect, but you can kind of see that there's a little gap here on this side. So I'm assuming it's because the wire isn't set perfectly. So then you just kind of have to readjust it a little bit. So this is in. This was the hardest thing to do for the first time in the Model Y because I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? But again, you do the same thing, but reverse. So you're gonna keep it this way. As you can see, there's hexagonal shapes. It kind of latches into there. Keep it that way, and you're gonna rotate it back to the left. Now with the Y, it was so hard, but I think they fixed it with the X and probably the newer models, so it's way easier. So you're just gonna find that hexagonal area right there, and I'm just gonna go find the grooves. So right there, see how it's stuck? So now for me, I found the groove right there. You'll know, it's like, it fits like a puzzle. It's pretty firm, far away. So it goes all the way to the left side there, as you can see. And then from that position, all you have to do is just snap it back that way, done. Before, you needed way more effort. So the Tesla service people had like little wrenches and grips to do that, but now it's done. So the 10-inch was way too short for the Model X radar detector installation. So I decided to go with something bigger. I thought 15, but I think even 15 is a little too small. So I actually went with the 20-inch. So the 20-inch should for sure be able to work because I'm gonna be mounting the radar detector high up. Cool thing with the mirror tap thing is it comes with this. So you could put this over where the plugs connect and then clamp it together. That way it stays closed. And then of course it also even comes with electrical tape too to wrap it even more to make sure the plug doesn't just fall out. But here it is, super long. And I had to wait for these to come on Amazon, but I think these will be some good cable management clips. I always test it multiple times because there have been so many times I tested and works. Put this in first, like slide it in on both sides, you know what I mean? And then just push it. Yep, that is the best way. So make sure you do this part first, make sure these are lined up, it comes all the way forward, and then just pull it and push it up and it snaps in and you're done. Okay, so again, as far as placement and length of the wiring goes, I still have to figure that out because if I am to use my sun visor, it cannot be anywhere along this entire path. Because at first I thought, oh, maybe I could just put it like right here. But see how it's in the way? The only way is if it's like all the way up here, which is actually really good because that's basically the roof, so it's great for picking up radar signals. And higher is usually always better because it keeps it away from people looking into your car so they can't see that you have a radar detector. Oh yeah, compared to this one, I definitely like this one a little bit more. It's way more low profile because this is so bulky with the huge suction cup, it just gets in the way. And I could still easily remove it like so. Again, you could get the blend mount if you want to, like the Model Y. But this one I wanted to be like nice and high up this time, change it up. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, so I don't think it'll get in the way. But as you can see, there it is right there, all done. I think I might just keep that there. I mean, it's very unnoticeable. Overall though, you can't really tell I have a radar detector because this whole piece is tinted. Yeah, you can't even see it at all from outside. And then if you look here, you can't see anything either until you look all the way up there. So I'm gonna come back. I wanna see if the radar detector turns off and the car turns off, because right now the car's still on, as you can see. Right now it is 6:42 a.m., 6:43 a.m. So it's been about 30 minutes and Stormbreaker was sleeping. And I was getting a little scared because I was checking it on and off 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes later, and the radar detector was still on. But the radar detector is now off. I don't hear any fans, which means the car is turned off. And when I turn on and open the door, there it is. Success. So I mean, this is how it looks. Goes right under there, super clean. I got one cable management thing. You can get a smaller one if you wanted to, and it fits perfectly right here. Let's just see, is it gonna get in the way? It does not get in the way. Perfect. So it looks to be working fine so far. Because the camera has such good power, I don't see it messing with any of the electronics or anything. So that's good. But anyways, guys, hope that video helped you, and I'll see you guys next time.